So this is probably one of the more fun ideas I've thought of for a crossover. And yeah, so as you can see from the title, this is this is Ed Trek. So Ed Trek, as you can imagine, is a Star Trek and Ed Nettie crossover, but not a crossover in that, oh, we're meeting these characters. It's more like the characters play out pretend. That's what it's more like. It's like they're more inspired by an episode of Star Trek. So the story is that Eddie and Ed go to Double D's house, because they got a scam. They're trying to think of a scam, and they need Double D's brains, of course. So what happens is they go to Double D's house and find him watching Star Trek, and Double D talks about how much his love for Star Trek and like the whole thing of space exploration of space exploration. And, to boldly go where no man has gone before. And Eddie's like, dumb. But this gives me an idea. So, essentially what happens is that they get together some costumes, and this is TOS Star Trek. This is original series Star Trek. And what happens is, and Eddie's who's like, well, I was more of a Next Generation fan, Eddie. I don't know why we have to go with original costumes. And he said, because if we're doing this with Kirk. I am not Picard. And he's like, that much is obvious. He's like, fine, but I will be a science officer. And Ed's like, oh, Eddie, can I be an officer? And he said, sure, you can be the helmsman. And Ed's like, awesome. It's like, I'm a helmsman, yo-ho. So yeah, they get their costume together, and then they build like a mobile cardboard version of a Constitution-class starship. And Eddie goes, well, if it looks like we're gonna need a crew, so let's go recruiting. So the three of them pretend like see the kids all playing in the playground, and they pretend like beam down, and Eddie takes out like a fake tricorder, like a fake comlink, and goes, Captain's log, stardate 91210. We've arrived at Starbase Alpha, looking for recruits for our new space quest. And everyone's like, space quest? What's all this about? And he's like, we're like my intrepid crew and I are looking for a new crew and a new set of recruits to boldly go where no man has gone before. And Kevin is, of course, like, this is stupid. This is ridiculous. This is the dumbest thing you guys have ever done. I swear to God, it's always something new with you guys. And now you're doing, like, nerd Star Trek stuff. Count me out. And Naz goes, I'm in. And Kevin goes, I'm in too. So everyone gets like, gets rankings. So we have Rolf, who is head of engineering, and Rolf is like, Rolf does not understand these hyperdrives or whatever, but if it makes the ship go, then yay. Johnny is the team's, is the group's, also the other helmsman. We also have Kevin, who basically makes the argument to Eddie that while he can't be captain because Eddie is captain, he's like, fine, but I get to be first officer. And he's like, cool. Then we have head of security. Sarah is head of security because of course she is. Jimmy is chief medical officer. We have Naz, who is the counselor, and yeah. So there you go. There's our intrepid crew pretending to be, to boldly go where no Ed has gone before. So the group essentially is just running around this fake ship that isn't really big, and they're just pretending to have like corridors and whatever, and rooms and whatever, and Eddie is just eating this up because he also mentions that there is a cadet fee of 25 cents. So he gets to be captain, boss people around, and get to make money. It's a win-win situation for Eddie. However, what happens is that what happens is that they pretend to go down on a hostile planet, which is the junkyard. They pretend the planet, it's a hostile planet, and it's an unknown hostile planet, and that's where they encounter hostile life forms, so to speak. Those hostile life forms are the giant machines that are more or less taking the scrap from the junkyard and compounding it. So they've just pretend it's like giant machine monsters. And Ed goes, "It's the Borg!" And Double D goes, Ed, wrong era. Oh, it's robots. So they pretend to fight their way out of it, pretend to get caught in an asteroid field and all of that. And then things get really interesting with all of this. Because what happens next is that the Eds encounter the Klingons. Or should I say the Kankons? Because the Kankers have caught wind of all of this and are now pretending to be the Klingons. Like, they're literally pretending to be... they're literally pretending to be Klingons. So they're like, and it's actually kind of funny because Lee has like they open up a channel and it's literally just a Zoom call between them. And what happens is like Lee speaks perfect Klingon and Double D understands her perfect. Marie speaks perfect Klingon, and Double D is like, she is speaking perfect Klingon, Eddie. I'm a little attracted, and Eddie is like, I don't even know you anymore. So the two ships basically pretend to fire on one another until it's there's a truce, and Ed and Nettie more or less hail the Klingon Captain Lee and goad her, and more or less are like, "What are your terms?" They're spare me, Eddie. I mean, spare my crew. What must we do? And to which Lee goes, meet us, teleport down to, planet side, and we'll handle this. If we win, we get to take you and your ship. If you win, we'll leave you alone. And Eddie goes, well, this is a job for my first officer. And Kevin's like, nope. So they kick him out of the ship, of the fake ship, and force them to meet the Kanker sisters. And they pretend to have like a... You remember that stupid fight between Kirk and the Gorn? It's like that. In fact, Ed pulls out like a phone and starts playing the music from that episode. And he's like, I thought it would be apt. And Double D goes, well, I appreciate you not only knowing what the word apt means, but also the gravity of the situation, but also, Ed, help! So, of course, this goes about as well as you expect, because, yeah, the kids get the Eds get captured by the Kankers, get dragged back to Kronos, aka the Kankers, trailer. Yeah, the Kankers trailer, and Naz is like, Commander Kevin, what do we do? We should go after our beloved Captain Science Officer and Helmsman. And he's like, nah, they've sacrificed themselves for a greater good. Helmsman, get us out of here. Engineering, get us out of here. And Ralph is like, okie dokie. So they just ditch Ed and Nettie, and of course this ends like every other Ed and Nettie episode with the Kankers, with them kissing them profusely against their will. So there you go, guys. That is Ed Trek. Just something like a short, fun video, just a short, fun video. And I hope you all enjoyed this. So you guys comment below. What did you guys think of it? Like it, hate it, comment below, let me know. Once again, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.